Coming up on SUTV, it's Identity Week.
And find out how to keep your New Year's resolution. Stay tuned. Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Caitlin Jackson.
And I'm Nick Minear. A male adult was life-flighted to Dixie Regional Medical Center after crashing through a fence at a home near Cedar High School earlier this afternoon. A pickup truck started to drive off the road, sideswiping a tree. The truck then drove through a support beam for a carport before running through a fence and coming to a stop. The driver was the only occupant in the vehicle and was life-flighted to Dixie Regional Medical Center after the crash. Only sustaining a head injury. The driver was not wearing his seatbelt.
Make sure you always wear your seatbelt and stay focused on the road. Well, closer to home, SU gives the students more and more to do on campus. This week is Identity Week, and I went out to see what was going on and what we can expect for the rest of the week. Identity Week is back with several events for students to participate in. On Monday and Tuesday, they set up a photo booth and chalkboards for everyone to come and tell campus who they were. What are you?
I'm a lot of things. I am a student, I'm a member of the student government, I'm the president of my fraternity, I'm gay, I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm an Eagle Scout, I'm lots of different things.
And how is Identity Week important to you?
Identity Week is cool because every time we have Identity Week, we have a theme that deals with people breaking out of their stereotypes and kind of going outside of the box. And with this week, it's really cool having Dr. Seuss's quote be the theme and talking about standing out, because everyone has something special and unique about them that they can stand out above everyone else and showcase exactly who they are, because no one really fits in a box. Everyone can express who they are freely, and no one has to feel limited if they don't let themselves be limited.
What about this week are you most excited for?
I'm really excited for the fashion show. I'm excited to meet Will Jardell from America's Next Top Model, and I just think it's going to be a lot of fun to see the different ways that everyone on campus decides that they want to represent themselves on the runway with.
I am a hula hoop dancer, and for SUTV News, I'm Caitlin Jackson.
Bread and Soup Night is a monthly tradition, but because of Identity Week, this month's Bread and Soup Night was altered slightly. Our reporter Casey Velarde has more.
This week's Bread and Soup Night fell during Identity Week. This is a week focused on showcasing the individuality and diversity of SUU's student body. Specifically, Bread and Soup Night is the first Monday of the month and is a way to bring the Cedar City community and college students together.
There's a lot of students that come. There isn't as many non-students, but we do get people in the community that come by.
Even though the night was during Identity Week, the event was hardly changed.
We did try and get a lot of different entertainment, which we do try to do every month, but this week usually we just get like vocalists, whereas this month we got like dancers and stuff.
There is one major beneficial aspect of Bread and Soup Night that has gone unchanged.
All the food, all the money that's collected for Bread and Soup Night goes to the Hope Pantry, and that feeds students on campus, and that's really good because we want our students fed.
With full stomachs, those attending were able to enjoy a variety of acts, one of which that didn't go quite as planned.
Broke my shoe, so that was pretty interesting. 30 minutes before, and we actually choreographed some sets before we came in here because most of our members aren't here. So we had to, because it's a partner dance, and so we had to do like fillers, so that was kind of interesting.
Be on the lookout for other events that are part of Identity Week. For SUTV News, I'm Casey Velarde.
Need to burn off the calories gained from bread and soup night? Well, there's a way to do it on campus. Our reporter, Jelani Williams, will tell you how.
Located in the J.L. Sorensen Physical Education Building, the fitness center allows SUU students an opportunity to improve their overall health. The two-story facility has free weights, flat benches, incline benches, squat racks, among other machines to help improve strength.
How long have I been working out here? Since I came here, freshman year. It's an easy credit, so you have an extra credit to go with school. And it's not as much as Golds. Like, Golds is a little bit better than this, but it's still like free, still awesome.
If strength training isn't in your goals or plans, that's okay. You can hop on one of the bikes downstairs or head upstairs where there are many ellipticals and treadmills for those of you that enjoy your cardio. Whether you have little experience in the gym at all or you've been in the gym your whole life, the fitness center is the perfect place for you.
Just the feeling of working out, I've been growing up with it. I've been playing sports in high school.
The center's hours of operations are from Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. and Saturday from 10 to 3.
This is Jelani Williams reporting live from SUTV. It's time for me to get to my workout. Back to you in the studio.
Coming up on SUTV, President Obama wants to pass a bill to give students free community college.
And the LDS Church had a controversial press conference. Stay tuned.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
There is a new sorority coming to SUU campus. The name is Ladies of Diversity, and their values are loyalty and diversity. They are leaning their philanthropy towards cancer research and will be up and running hopefully by next semester. The girls creating the sorority are hard at work completing their university requirements. Brianna Davis, historian and philanthropy chair, sat down with us to share what the women are doing to become a new Greek organization on campus.
The kind of steps we're taking, there's a little bit of a process to it. There's kind of like an application, just being a part of the group, doing your community service. We have a certain amount of hours and everything for that, but just as far as, certain events like philanthropy events and community service events that we all have to participate in if we want to become an interest group and stay an interest group.
In the coming years, a chance for 2 free years of college might be coming to SUU. Our reporter Damon Day recently traveled down to Pizza and Politics event in the Levitt Center to find out more.
Hungry for some pizza? Have a thirst to increase your political knowledge? Well, Pizza and Politics may be the event for you. Pizza and Politics, a weekly event held in the Levitt Center on campus, offers students not only the option to discuss current political topics with fellow SUU students, but free lunch. Following President Obama's State of the Union address on the 20th of January, Pizza and Politics at SUU discussed one of the address's largest topics, the option of free community college. The proposal, if successful, would allow college students the opportunity to attend 2 years of college, tuition free. Students attending the event on the 28th discussed President Obama's proposal, offering their agreeing and contrasting opinions on the matter. Moderators presented the students with specific questions concerning the topic, as well as gave input of their own. Those against the proposal argued that free higher education is a privilege, not a given, where those who supported the idea said it was a necessary action, for it would give the lower class more hope to graduate with a degree. This new proposition they're trying to pass, what do you think this means for SUU students?
For SUU students currently, I think that it's a It's hard to tell. There's the one idea that this is going to make tuition go up and this is going to be a decrease in our enrollment. But I think the way that Tennessee's looking at it currently, now I want to preface this is not going to happen in the next 2 years before we have a new president. Yeah. But President Obama, in his proposal, he basically sparked this idea that I think is going to stay around for a while and be revisited at a later time.
Interested in attending the next event? Pizza and Politics is held every Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. and welcomes all, students or non-students. For SUU TV News, I am Damon Day.
Speaking of politics, big religious news came from Salt Lake City a week ago that has made an impact here at SUU. Our reporter Casey Velarde has the story.
On Tuesday, January 27th, the LDS Church has made what has been referred to as a historical announcement. At a press conference in Salt Lake City, the Mormon leaders announced their support for anti-discrimination laws for the LGBT community. The leaders added to this pledge their hopes that these same laws would protect religious people as well. I'm here with an LDS SUU student to give us a little perspective that's closer to home. Would you agree that this announcement is of historical significance?
I would say for people outside of the church, it might be historical, but for church members, we're taught to love and accept everyone no matter what their origin, their sexual preference, whatever it is. We're taught to love and accept them and treat them as friends. So it's not really anything new to us. It's something that we've always been taught, but I can see how other people would be like, oh, the Mormons, they're letting people be like whatever they want to be.
How do you feel about the church's support for anti-discrimination laws for the LGBT community?
I think it's great. I hope that it'll show people that we really do want to love and accept everybody. Now, I know there's kind of a bad rap out there that we're judgmental, but I know we're really taught to not be judgmental and to accept everybody, so I'm hoping that I think this is great, and it's something that I've believed for a long time, so it's great that the churches came out and gave an announcement about it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
To be clear, the Mormon Church does not change their stance on same-sex marriage. This is merely the church putting to rest the controversial statements about same-sex marriage and religious freedom. Reporting for SUTV News, I'm Casey Velarde.
In my opinion, it's a step towards, a brighter future, hopefully.
Oh, definitely. I think everything needs to be kind of equaled and balanced out. And obviously, like Casey said, it wasn't necessarily changing standards or views, but it's just kind of another step.
Right. I like everybody getting along. And it is starting to feel a lot like summer.
But it's only February. We will have more news in a moment, but let's take a sneak peek at the weather.
It is going to be a lot easier to get along when it's warm, at least in my opinion. And we're going to be having some great weather coming up in the next week. So stay tuned, and I will show you exactly how great that weather is going to be. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I am Joe Cowan with your Cedar City weather. Let's take a look at the almanac for the day. High of 54, which is incredible for early in February. Low of 28, so just barely below the freezing point. Sunrise at 7:33 and sunset tonight about a little bit before 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a look at currently. I agree with that. Nice. 53 outside, just absolutely beautiful. There's a little bit of cloud coverage, but it's still just absolutely perfect. Anything you want to do outside, feel free, and it looks like we're going to be that way for the next couple of days. We have a little bit of humidity, more than we are normally used to, but not too terribly bad. And today it is really nice because I was just checking the previous almanacs, and it was 67 degrees in 1979, so it could be a little bit warmer. But also, it was the low of -2 back in 1953. So it is great that we only have a low of 28 tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the state. And so, like I said, 53 degrees in Cedar City, 53 degrees also in Kanab. Looks like the entire state is having a really great day, even with a little bit of cloud coverage coming in and only just a little bit of rain, as you see in this diagram in the background. So it looks like even up in the top of the state where it should be the coldest, it's still 50 degrees, and then coming back down the I-15, 53 degrees in Ogden, 58 in Salt Lake. So just really good weather all throughout the state, and it is going to be continuing. So we see on tomorrow we're going to have a high of 50, a little bit more cloud coverage, but still we're never going to dip below the freezing mark in the next couple of days until Thursday when we have a high of 46, but still not a bad low of 25. That feels like what should be the high for a normal February day. And then coming into Saturday and Sunday, both really good days, 52 degrees as the high and 32 degrees and 27 as the low. And it looks like we're not going to be seeing any rain coming in anytime soon, possibly next week at the earliest. And so what's going to happen is we're going to be seeing just absolutely gorgeous weather, maybe a little bit of cloud coverage. But if you want to go outside and do anything, feel free. It's going to just be absolutely perfect, especially for an early February.
I'm excited to have this warm weather. It's really nice to be able to actually go outside and do stuff this time of year.
Yeah, and so Brian had got some snow, but we'll see how well that lasts, even with the cold temperatures they have up there.
Yeah, well, thanks for the weather update, Joe.
We'll be back, but here's a quick look at what's coming up in sports.
It was a rough weekend for SU sports this weekend, but a couple distant runners had stellar performances in the weekend. Coming up, I will fill you in on the details. Stay tuned.
Listen up. Each year, hundreds of promising research studies go unfunded for breast cancer, for lung cancer, every cancer. The American Cancer Society has been behind nearly every breakthrough in recent history. But there's still more work to do. So let's make sure that no research is silenced. Let's make noise. Let's make noise. Yeah, and let's finish the fight.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome into your Thunderbird Sports Report. I'm Aaron Cantu, bringing you all your SU sport updates. After falling to Montana and Montana State on the road, the SU men's basketball team returned home to face off against NAU on Saturday, but didn't find much success, falling to the Lumberjacks 81-60. Early in the first half, NAU used a 24-3 run to take early command of the game. The Lumberjacks shot 30 of 53 from the field, with 11 of those shots behind the three-point line. NAU was led by scoring by guard Asim Dixon, who finished the game with 21 points. The T-Birds were led by forward Sharon Wilson and Tyler Rawson, who both had 9 points. Freshman guard Kyler Nielsen, who played high school ball at Cedar High, finished the game with 7 points. He entered the game with only 6.5 minutes to play, but made the most of his opportunity. After the game, SUU head coach Nick Robinson said that Nielsen just did what he did in practice which was run the system the way the coaches wanted it to be ran. This week, the T-Birds will host the University of North Dakota and the University of Northern Colorado. North Dakota will enter the Central Arena Thursday night, just one game ahead of SU in the Big Sky standings, but were able to defeat Idaho State in their last game. The Bears from UNC have a 6-3 record in Big Sky play and are coming off back-to-back wins against Idaho State and Weber State. Both games are scheduled to start at 7 p.m. and can be heard on radio at KSUB 590, and updates can be found on Twitter at SUNews_sports. The women's basketball team played a much closer game against NAU on Saturday in Flagstaff, Arizona. But once the contest went into overtime, the Lumberjacks took control and beat SU 73-64. The T-Birds went into the halftime break with a 31-23 lead over the Lumberjacks, but NAU outscored SU 36-28 in the second half to force overtime. Once the overtime period began, NAU stepped up defensively and only allowed SU to score 4 points while putting up 15 of their own. SU guard Desiree Jackson led the team in scoring with 15 points and 5 assists, while forward Markel Funk was able to drop 14 points for SU, and fellow forward Jessica Richardson led the team in rebounding with 12. NAU's forward center combo of Erica Banks and Raven Anderson proved to be too much for SU's bigs to handle, as they both finished with double-doubles. SU currently sits in a tie for 5th place in the Big Sky standings with a 4-4 conference record, which ties them with Eastern Washington. The women's team will also take on North Dakota and Northern Colorado this weekend. That game against UND will start at 6 p.m. on Thursday, and the game against UNC on Saturday will start at 2 in the afternoon. The SU gymnastics team was in action last Friday at home, hosting BYU inside the Centrum Arena. Our reporter Jamie Wysong has more.
The 21st ranked Thunderbirds suffered a close loss to BYU on Friday, which included a record-breaking night on the uneven bars. Redshirt sophomore Kirsten Yee broke the SUU bar record previously held by Elise Wheeler and Alyssa Click Friday evening with a 9.95 in front of a large home crowd for the Thunderbirds' first home meet of the season.
It felt great. I just did the best routine I could for my team, and as soon as I landed, I knew it was great.
Coach Scott Bauman said that moment is ranked as one of his most enjoyable moments in his coaching career.
Kirsty was amazing. She earned that. She's been working so hard for that. It's one of those moments as a coach that you will remember forever. I've never, ever jumped up and down, ever. Not in 31 years in a meet. But to see that kid get that score and earn it, she earned it too, because that routine was flawless. I was so proud of her.
Alyssa Click was in the audience to see her record broken, and it was an emotional moment.
It was great to actually witness it in person. It was amazing. She did so great. I'm so proud of her. That routine blew my mind. I'm so proud of her. I knew she could do it.
With SUTV Sports, I'm Jeannie Wysong.
Last night, the gymnastics team hosted its second meet in 4 days by hosting Ball State, and the T-Birds took a 194.800 to 190.45 win. Danielle Ramirez finished in first on the vault with a 9.85 score, while Jamie Armijo set a personal record with a 9.9 on the bars to take first in that event. Stacy Webb earned the first place spot on the beam with 9.775. The Flippin' Birds will be in action again Friday against San Jose State inside the Centrum Arena at 7 p.m. Moving now to indoor track and field, it was a successful weekend for 2 SU distance runners as Mike Tate and Ashley Hawks finished in the top of their events at the UW Invitational this weekend at the University of Washington. Tate ran the mile in 4 minutes and 0.53 seconds, which is now the 3rd fastest time in SU history and is also a new personal best for Tate. Hawks set 2 personal records this weekend in the mile run and the 3,000 meter run. In the mile, Hawks ran a time of 4 minutes and 29 seconds, while finishing the 3,000 meter run in 9 minutes and 29.72 seconds. Both times went down as the 2nd fastest in SU history in their respective events. While the distance runners were seeing success at the UW Invitational, the rest of the track team was in action in Flagstaff, Arizona at the Mountain Tees Invitational. Sprinter Justin Lewis claimed second place in the 200 meter dash, with a time of 21.79, while jumper Alex Anderson finished in 4th place with a long jump of 6.84 meters. Jamila Pullum ran the 400-meter dash in 56.56 seconds to earn 5th place in that event. And the T-Birds will take a week off before returning to action next weekend with the Husky Classic. And finally, SU Athletic Director Ken Beezer announced Saturday that former Snow College head coach Craig Choate will take the reins of SU volleyball team. Choate will fill in the shoes of former SU head coach Debbie Baker after Baker has spent the last 6 years as the T-Birds head coach. No word as to yet who will be announced as the assistant coach. And lastly, the New England Patriots took a 28-24 victory over the Seattle Seahawks in Super Bowl 49, just as Bryson Lester and I predicted last week. That's all I have for you today. Be sure to tune in next Thursday, and I'll bring you more on the Thunderbird Sports Report.
It's a lot of fun to be able to see all the sporting events all the time. It's a lot of fun to see SU.
Definitely.
Thanks for the update, Aaron.
SU students are saving lives.
Red Cross and SU USA have teamed up to get blood donations for our Our reporter Oliver Davis has the story.
Hi, I'm Special Agent Diana Berrigan from the TV show White Collar. Did you know that it wasn't until 1972 that the first female earned an FBI Special Agent badge? Now women are helping solve crimes around the world in faraway places like Sarajevo, New Delhi, Lagos, and Tbilisi. To all our women fighting crime at home and overseas, thank you for keeping us safe. Happy anniversary.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Red Cross Associates and SU USA have teamed up to get blood donations. Our reporter Oliver Davis has the story.
Another successful blood drive has been performed at SUU. Students, faculty, and regular citizens of Cedar City alike came to the event to donate blood. Red Cross Associates and SU USA representatives worked all day, taking donations from eligible people. But who is eligible to donate blood? Well, the basic requirements are that men have to be at least 17 years old, be at least 5'1", weigh at least 130 pounds, and be feeling well. Women need to be at least 17 years of age, be no shorter than 5'5", weigh at least 150 pounds, and once again, be feeling well. More requirements can be found on redcrossblood.org. But why should you donate blood? Damon Day was one of the 3 students working the computer system, admitting donors into the donation process, resulting in him knowing quite a bit about this whole thing.
It's actually used every 2 seconds here in Utah, so there's a tremendous need for it, and a lot of people don't realize that.
But what about those who still have objections to giving blood? After all, despite all the good that blood donations can do, one can imagine that not everyone eligible in Cedar City would crowd into the convention center willingly.
If you're afraid of needles, that's a legitimate cause, but they treat you really well. It's not very painful, and you don't have to look. If it's due to time, we come for most of the day, and typically people can find half hour to an hour in their day. And so really it comes down to you having an interest and a desire and being educated as to why you should donate blood, and maybe some concerns that you have that can actually be addressed.
If you're willing to help save a life, check out redcrossblood.org to make sure you're okay to give blood, and keep an eye out for the next blood drive at SUU. For SUTV News, I'm Oliver Davis.
Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night. We'll see you Thursday.